WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Gilbert, brother, and you're listening to the Cretans Guild Podcast.
Hello, Cretans, and welcome to episode 94 of the Cretans Guild Podcast. You have been warned, this is a splash zone. We are part of the PODFIX network. You can find us on podfixnetwork.com, where you can also listen to other great podcasts like Down to Folk, where Ariel and Chad team up to regale you with folklore, fairy tales, and legends that never actually happened. Are you DTF? And speaking of the which, we've got to point out our newest Patreon supporter, Theme Park Rob. How about that? The guy's our champion. He's a supporting member of the Cretans Guild. Thank you. We are helping keep the lights on here, buddy. And we also have Dillo's Diz in the chat. Thank you, folks. I don't know if that's Jen or Frank, but we're just going to roll with it and just say it's like an amalgamation of the two of them.
Fen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I could have done Fren, but I did Fen. So here we are.
Hold on.
Committing.
Fen. I got nothing.
Yep. Nope.
I got nothing.
Because the other one would be like jank, and that's like a lingo that I already say. So we're not doing that. Mm-mm. Who or whom? Who says whom?
Whom? Well, apparently they do. So this must be Jen because it's polite.
Is that polite or is that just old?
Inquisitive. Oh, yeah. Well, if they threw in like a who art thou whom? Or I don't.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Let's just get right into it. Stephherrs, how are you doing, by the way? Yes.
It's been a whirlwind of a day, a whirlwind of a week, but I'm here and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yep, we are past the 4th of July, which you know what that means. It is automatically Halloween season.
Woo! Go, 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 go. By the way, since it's Halloween season, Universal, feel free to drop more house announcements.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I know they're just like they're trickling the salt in there. Like, what's the guy do with the little salt?
It's not, but that is like a lot. And this is
we need
slow to
chunks.
Roll. Yeah, like throw it at us.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
We need it in our face. Wait a minute, this is
ding ding. Saying ding ding when we said both names doesn't really specify who is speaking. Whom is speaking? Who is speaking? It's
what? Don't tell us who that is. Just keep giving us hints throughout the night. If we see anything about the Mets, that kind of gives it away right there.
We'll see. I want to say it's Frank because why would Jen tune into a Universal conversation?
Yeah, why would Jen tune into this podcast? But anyway, so what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about one of our favorite theme park related topics of all time, Halloween Horror Nights. Yes! Cannot wait. I am psyched. I am really psyched. And especially after last year where it was kind of like, I refer to it as Diet Horror Nights or Horror Nights Light. I don't know, with LITE. One of those two.
At least you got something.
Yeah, at least it was something. And boy, was I so happy to get just the taste of what we got. But we're going to talk about some stuff that might happen this year. We're going to talk about some of our favorite memories in the past. If anybody has any questions about Halloween Horror Nights, hey, we're the ones to ask because we can definitely at least point you in the right direction. Stephherrs, so let me ask. Yes, she is displaying the Beetlejuice shirt. Absolutely freaking love that.
I know.
Stephherrs, what turned you? What was your first? Did somebody introduce you to Halloween Horror Nights and drag you along? It's like, hey, you're gonna come in, or did you see this? Like, I need some of that in my life.
Well, let's be honest. I was one of the kids that was taken to Halloween Horror Nights prior to them being 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad.
So much.
My dad. Okay, wow, but also accurate. My dad. I'm trying to think of the first year. We were discussing this offline. The first shirt I have is from 2013, but there's no way that that's the first year I went. I want to say, how old was I then? Yeah, I want to say I went when I was like 10 or 11. Let's be honest.
So we're at Halloween Horror Nights 30. So what was that? Halloween Horror Nights?
That's too much math. That's too much math for stuff.
It was 25?
24 was 2014.
I made a dig at your age, and you didn't even flinch.
Oh, I did not flinch because, yes, that's my age. I am 25. I am the youngest person of the Cretans Guild and everything. Honestly, let's just say everything.
We don't have an age limit.
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah, we kind of do. Yeah, don't. If you're under the age of 18, don't.
I mean, watch.
18.
No,
yeah,
watch anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, you kids got the internet. They know everything.
Sweet 16. I remember Sweet 16, but I don't know if I went to Sweet 16.
The Horror Nights 16 or
correct.
Okay.
The Horror Nights. I definitely went when I was 16. Can we focus? I know I'm young, but I've been.
Okay.
I've done things.
All right.
Maybe Bill and Ted's. Yes. Dungeon of Terror. I'm like looking at the houses there were. I think my first year was 17. I'm going to commit and say that my first year was HHN 17. And my dad took me because, well, he's a great father.
Yes, he is. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. I think I was, I went with somebody, I forget what year it was, but it was back when it was called Fright Nights. And it was like, we don't know what, and
that's pretty Stephherrs.
Yeah, well, someone brought me along, and I kind of got it. It's like, oh, we're doing Halloween, scary, ooh. And it wasn't that big of a deal for me. So I didn't go for a few more years. And then one year I was working a media event, and they gave me a free ticket.
Oh, excuse me. Working a media event? He's just going to name drop a little bit.
Ow, my foot. I dropped a name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got a free ticket to go to Halloween Horror Nights. I think it was 13. It was when it was at both Islands and Universal.
Oh.
And wow, why?
I love because that's when they really utilized that bridge between the parks.
Yes.
During Halloween Horror Nights. And I miss that because the only time I do it now is when I go to those meetups. And that's the only time that they really use it. Not even when it's like bigger capacity, nothing. I get nothing.
And they didn't do it for a long time. It was just 2, 3, 4 years tops, something like that. And I can imagine how that was probably a logistical nightmare to pull off between two different theme parks at the same time.
Well, because you have to put at least 4 at the bridges to like scan each way, and then you have to get people to scan. Like, it's too much monitoring, and there was a lot of alcohol, or there is a lot of alcohol. It's not it. There was.
Yeah, let's not joke around here.
Oh, theme park Rob, that's going to change. Don't you worry, that's gonna change.
Yep, he's coming along to our meetup in September. But what I remember, and so Horror Nights 13. I think it was 13. It's when they were still trying to get like a good footing. It's like, hey, this is how it could probably work. So they hadn't, instead of having any IP houses, they're all generic houses. And they're all focused around this one theme. And the theme for that year, the icon, I think was the director that year, where he was showing you a bunch of snuff films, and your adventure through the houses were basically his films. It was fun. It was great, but there was nothing really memorable about it. I remember, let me see, Halloween 13. Yeah.
I missed a shirt. I missed a shirt. My pass holder shirt has all the icons on it.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll do something like that again, because I know
they must.
All they got to do is stamp Halloween Horror Nights on something. It's like, I want that, and that, and that, and I want a shirt, I want a cup, I want a hat, and I want a bumper sticker too.
The director was 2003.
Okay, yep, that sounds about right. And I'm looking at the houses, Ship of Screams, Fun House of Fear. Yeah, there's no IP houses. The Scare Zones.
Because they didn't have rights back then. They didn't have rights.
Yeah, they weren't making the amount of money that they eventually would.
I can confirm that HHN, whatever I just said, Carnival of Carnage was the first HHN I ever went to. So that's when they first introduced Jack.
Okay. So that was pretty early, wasn't it? It was like 5.
2007.
7.
Well, I'm like, math is hard, so like I'm young at 2007.
I'm not questioning your age. I'm questioning the date, because I thought he was introduced in 5.
He might have been, but he came back a couple times.
Yeah, that's where it can get a little confusing because they keep taking them away and it's like, yeah, you want Jack? Here you go on a platter.
He did. So 2007, I think, was either the first or second time, and then he did come back
95.
Hold on, 15. No, it has to be later than 15. 2016 or 17. Like, he came back, and now he's back again.
I absolutely love we're using T-shirts as documentation.
Is there another way to go?
Oh, yeah. So, yes, this shirt says, yeah. So, oh, God.
That was Jackson. He brought me a cookie.
Oh, surprise cookie.
Thank
Those
you.
are always wonderful.
I was bad at I eat one.
Oh, well, I ate mine too. Never mind, it's from lunch. He brought me a cookie, guys. That's
Several hours old, but
it is, but it's
stale cookie's better than no cookie.
It's in the wrapper.
Right.
I'm gonna hold it. Oh, now it's gonna bug me if I don't know how many times Jack has been. But it's fine. I'm not gonna fret. 2007.
Because with Jack, they'll introduce him, or not really introduce him. They'll say, "Hey, we got Jack," and he's over there somewhere. But in other cases, they'll say, "Hey, we got Jack," and he's in everything.
2000 was the first time he appeared at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, and there was one year where he was involved in almost every house, like every scare zone.
I love Jack, but I hate clowns. So tell me how that makes sense, people.
That sounds like an internal struggle that only you can deal with.
Yeah, so clowns are always laughing on the outside, not afraid of the dark, the loony bin, vengeance at long last, the carnival of carnage, which is, wow, he was there like at least 4 times before I even got there.
All right, so maybe he did start at 5.
He started a long, long time ago. I can still remember.
Okay, well, he is coming back, so I do have this, let me see, where I do have a speculation map. I love these things, so let's
do it.
Let us speculate. All right, so.
Hello, Nate. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, Nate.
It's me on the guild. Check it.
Proud member. All right, so we have a couple of these houses we know absolutely for sure because they've been announced. There's 2 houses that they are repeats of last year. And then a couple others where maybe not. Now, what I love about these speculation maps is sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But what I absolutely love was, I think it was 2 years ago, where I saw Tooth Fairy on the speculation map, and it never happened, but it did happen the next year, which was last year. And so all the houses from last year are returning. So right off the bat, we do know that Beetlejuice House and the Haunting of House Hill, that is definitely coming back this year.
Hill House.
Hill House. What'd I say?
House Hill.
House Hill. Yeah, same thing.
It's not.
No, it's not. Get it right, Bob. Now, they are, let's see. Beetlejuice was in the I location, which that is the ETQ to get to, I believe. Yeah, that looks right. So that's where I believe it was last year for that one single day.
That's where it will be this year. There's no way they tore that down.
Well, I don't think they tore it down, but I just wondered because that's not exactly a main event section. Now, I can understand it's like at the spur of the moment, it's like, all right, we got to get this thing up. We got to get it up now. Otherwise, the movie studio is going to say we can't do it next year. Just put it wherever we can. So I don't know if it was deliberately intended to be in that location and they're just repeating it, or because that's a main attraction house. That's where a lot of people are going to come and see, which according to this map, the locations in B and C, I always felt those were like the main attraction houses.
Yep, the Finnegan's holding area is the place to go usually for the main attraction houses. However, are they really going to move it?
No, that's a pretty good wide open area to house a lot of people, which 2 years ago felt like we were cattle being herded in.
I will say that might be why they're doing it that way, because I know for me, I would always stay at the Finnegan's holding area. If you don't know what the holding area is, it's for Stay and Scream, or if you have a daytime park ticket and then you wait for the event in the park, you can knock out like 2 houses right out the gate.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Unfortunately, they are like some of the biggest houses of the night. So if you want to save those for last, you're kind of like, you got to weigh your options at that point.
It's roulette at that point. That's why I do these first, and then I go to the back of the park, and then I knock those out. But I always monitor the weights.
Yeah, there's isn't there a wait or a holding area in the back of the park over by the Simpsons?
Simpsons, Hello Kitty, Finnegan's, and I think that's it. I think there's only 3. There might be 4, but I can't remember where the 4th one.
Really? There's one over by Hello Kitty, because there's just one house in that area.
Yeah, tell me how that makes sense. I don't know.
I guess just to disperse the crowd a little bit more.
Typically, people either do the Finnegans or the Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people have a lot of success doing the Simpsons one because of the stuff back there, and then they knock it out, and then they wait till the end of the night to do the front. However, I get too anxious and I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. So,
well, I noticed. I think it was 2021. So in 2019, if you had gone through the main entrance, I know my mouse, you can barely see it on the screen, but if you came through the main entrance and then you took your first right towards what I guess at the time was Terminator, and you start doing the houses and the scare zone that way, then you come all the way around. I felt like they wanted you to go in this direction because it seemed like I really can't describe it, but at the very end, the last scare zone in this K area over by Shrek, that's where the video game arcade was, and there was a whole bunch of game over, good night, and stuff like that. So I'm thinking,
that's one of my favorite scare zones that they've ever had.
I was walking through that before they turned on the lights. It's like, what is going on here? This is going to be so interesting. Oh, I love that Ghostbuster shirt. I think I got that one.
It's all of them. It has killer clowns. It has the monsters, and it has Stranger Things, and then Ghostbusters. It's very nice.
That was probably one of my favorite houses of all time, was the Ghostbuster house.
The Ghostbusters was themed really well, and the Universal Monsters by far was probably my favorite, which is saying something because Stranger Things was like the big thing.
Yeah.
In 2019, but
my funny story is they did Stranger Things 2 years in a row.
Yes, they did.
It was season 1, then season 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I went on the first year, and I had never seen Stranger Things. It was completely new to me, but I had this chance to go, so like, all right, let's go through it. And I kind of like had an idea of what was going on, but as I'm walking through the house, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Wow, this is great. I have no clue what they're doing, but I love this. Whoa, we're in a classroom now, and the kid's holding up an alien. I don't know what. This is really neat. I like it.
You're really disappointing me right now. If anybody that's going to the meetup or wants to be my friend is going to Halloween Horror Nights this year, my main, whatchamacallit, the main thing that you need to do is at least watch Beetlejuice. If you don't watch Beetlejuice or you've never seen Beetlejuice, we cannot be friends.
I'm trying to fathom anyone who hasn't seen Beetlejuice. Even my kids have seen it.
There are people.
They're
losers? Yeah, they're losers.
One of Tim Burton's greatest, Michael Keaton.
Okay, we're still on the houses. I'm going to stay on the houses, but also there's something we need to discuss.
What's this?
So Puppet Theater was leaked.
Okay.
Last year. So
as a possible house?
As a house, it was a quote-unquote leaked, but Universal's like, we're not going to commit to announcing this house. And I'm like, but why? We all know it's there. It's fine. It's really fine. I want to know when the speculation map was made, because there is proof that there's a Cary, Ohio something facade going up right now.
That is true, yes. I think this speculation map, which I don't know. I think this one came out in mid-June. This has a stamp of Horror Night Nightmares. I got it from their Twitter page. I don't know if they make the official speculation maps, but I've been looking at this particular one for a number of years now, and yeah, I can believe that if Which one? You said Puppet
Welcome
Theater?
to Scary. Puppet Theater and Welcome to Scary. I don't know if it'll be called Welcome to Scary, but I do think that there's going to be some sort of... Ooh. Sorry, that was thunder. I don't know if you heard that, but that was
I heard something, yeah.
But Welcome to Scary. I'm assuming that's going to be an original house that they come up with something.
Okay. That's over by Men in Black area?
They
No.
usually put two... Okay, that's... The Men in Black ones are technically G and F, technically.
Correct.
And then that one is behind...
Over by the performance area.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to think of... Oh yeah, there is one. I was trying to think of where do they put people there? Yeah, that's correct. I mean, that's not a terrible... I don't even know where that house was, where that facade was. I think it was by MIB, now that we're talking about it. Because they typically do original houses next to each other, if you've noticed.
Yeah.
So it might be in G and F. It's just my speculation.
They're saying Welcome to Scary is going to be right next to the performance area. Let's see. And what's GNF? They're thinking Puppet Theater and the Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin.
I don't know what that is.
That could be one of those houses where it's a filler. Because I remember one year they were speculating a house to be, I think it was Tooth Fairy. And then they got the rights to use us. It's like, put that in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it too. Usually I don't have any problems with a house, but you do have your like bottom of the barrel houses or the house that you always just get the terrible timing on. We're gonna put Realm of the Pumpkin in that category because I'm not, you know.
We're going to say they're a maybe.
They're a maybe, but they're...
If something better comes along, we'll push you out.
They put Creep Show or Halloween 3. And let me tell you, I don't know if they can get the rights to Halloween... Right? Is that the new one that's coming out to Halloween 3? Or is that the last one?
I believe that is the next one. But the other thing is they've done Halloween a number of times. They do have a little description down here. Well, I mean, yeah, if they want it, then they'll probably deliver on it. But all of our sources are divided on whether the Shrek house is Creepshow or Halloween 3. So we decided to present you with both options for right now. Our next map should have more precise information on this location. Okay.
I don't think they're going to get the rights for Halloween in time. Or they would have already had to get the rights. And I don't even think the movie's done. I really have no idea. I don't follow Halloween at all. I just know the characters.
See, I think Creepshow is more likely because that house was in California 2 years ago.
Oh, then maybe that's probably... Are they really going to do something they've already... Well, yes. Yes, they have.
They have done stuff like that before, yeah.
Walking Dead 10,000 times. Or whatever. The Purge 10,000 times.
Well, oh, man. I think that's one of the things that turned me off of Horror Nights a couple of times because it's like I don't care. But then Corey actually dragged me along for I think it was 2017, and I was like, okay, I need to start coming to these more often now, and they are really good now.
Yeah, I go it's funny because I don't plan it this way, and now that me and Jackson have been together for a while and like we're on our own, it's easier for me to just plan instead of, oh, we have school or, we can't take off because work is annoying. We managed to go every other year by accident. And even with 2020. So now we're going the next year, which is 2021, and we went 2019. So it's just...
Well, of the two houses they had on a regular basis last year, Bride of Frankenstein and Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, Bride of Frankenstein was very entertaining, especially if you love the Universal horror monsters, the classic monsters and whatever. I really enjoyed it.
What define entertaining? Are we saying the theming was really well done, but the scares were like predictable? Are we saying overall it was a mixture, or it wasn't scary at all?
Last year was kind of a fluke where the scares didn't count. And I say that because of two reasons. One, I was so elated just to be in there. I had this giant smile under my mask. So I was like, I'm so proud. This is awesome. This is so good. And the other half was all the scares were behind plexiglass.
That's true.
So you start walking up to like something shiny or some kind of reflection. It's like, oh, a scare's going to happen right there. So it kind of ruined it. But at the same time,
Gotcha.
I didn't care. I was that happy to be there.
Okay, so out of the two, you're saying that you prefer the Bride of Frankenstein. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're
Not
confirming?
to take anything away from Tooth Fairy, because that was kind of like a different experience altogether. Bride of Frankenstein probably had the better makeup and the better theming, performance kind of ordeal. It kind of brought you on a tour of like all the horror monsters, and obviously Frankenstein's Bride was like a big part of that. Revenge of the Tooth Fairy was kind of like story driven, but the problem with that one,
You can tell a story behind plexiglass?
well, no, actually they told the story very well. These horror houses, the houses are designed to walk through slowly.
Yeah.
When I went, there was nobody there. So they were rushing me along. I was like, go ahead, go up, move ahead, move. And it's like, I'm going to go. This is Horror Nights. I'm going to go as slow as I want. Thank you so much.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
There are many things that I can say right now. So
Don't
I'm
hold
gonna
back.
I'm gonna go to 2019 and compare those houses because that's just how that's gonna go.
In my opinion, best year ever.
We'll debacle on that later.
It is debatable, yes.
I found that either as I'm getting older or as this event progresses, I pay more attention to the theming and not necessarily the scares. So the ranking of my houses is more on how creative and how versus how not lazy, but like how like they kind of threw it together and here we are just kind of walking through this house.
Yes.
I will say what's the clowns of space?
Clowns
of
from Outer
time?
Space.
That house fucked me. It's like you're in I hate clowns, but I like Jack. And I have no background of the whole movie. Is it a movie? I don't know.
It's a movie.
I don't know these things. I had no background. And when you have clowns around you coming at you, I didn't want to pull a Sam and like punch them, but I'm like, I'm tripping. I am tripping on something. I was struggling in that house. Let me just say I was struggling.
Okay. All right. So that one is a little visually
A lot.
abrasive.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, if you do have like,
But it
a
was
fear
well
of
done.
clowns, yes,
But it was well done. Is my
and it matched the theme of the movie. The thing is, it's a stupid movie, but it's one of those great stupid movies. You sit back and you just, this is so terrible. I absolutely love it. And the house reflected that 100% because there's just so much ridiculousness. Or Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, it was so crazy that, you just lost yourself in the moment. Now, I will say that I don't know if that was the same year as Us, the Us
It
house.
is. I just
Okay.
pulled it up. Yep.
Just polar opposites. I live in.
I can't even remember Us. That was how forgettable it was for me.
Did you even go in it?
I did. I went
You
in
did.
every. Don't talk crap. I went in every single house, sir.
There was one year I had to skip because I didn't do an express pass or something, and the lines were just too long. I couldn't do everything. But the Us house was the first house in a long. I want to say the first house ever that really scared the crap out of me, like to the point I need to get out of here. I don't want to be in this place anymore. And I really haven't experienced that a lot because, unfortunately, just to drop a bomb here, I'm working in news. I get bombarded with bad news and bad video and like all kinds of like horrific real stuff all the time, to the point where I'm kind of like my senses have been dulled.
Yeah.
So if you get something that actually scares me, you did a good job. And that one part of the house where you're walking through towards the end and you don't know what's a mannequin and what's a real person, and it's this dark room, everyone's in an orange jumpsuit, and the more I walked through that little area, like some people were moving at me, some people weren't moving, but they were real people, and then there were other mannequins. I couldn't tell which because I didn't want to look them directly in the eyes.
Never.
Yeah, that kind of ruined it. Or it did ruin it. It just, I got a little lost in the moment with that one. So yeah, the Us house scared the piss out of me.
So I'm watching, like, I'm clicking through a walkthrough. I mean, is that? Oh, sorry. I'm like looking at YouTubers that are in the house in front of him. I found, what was the house? I don't know if this was scary though. My thing is like my gauge is very, I enjoyed graveyard games.
I loved graveyard games.
I thought that was such a unique, like, but not because I'm a millennial. So like, I just thought that was a really good house, just in general.
I really liked graveyard games, but my favorite house of all time was Slaughter Cinema. Of all time was Slaughter Cinema of last year, or the year before that.
Okay. I think the best house for me versus the most memorable house might differ, so I don't know if I could say the best house, like the best house, but the best house that I really enjoyed was Asylum in Wonderland in 2027. I'm gonna look it up. Asylum in Wonderland. It was like a 3D house with black light, and there was a giant ass baby. Giant ass baby. It was a Halloween Horror Nights 25 in 2015. It was like Alice. They did it once. I just didn't know what year. I don't know anything. But it was in the Shrek area, and it was like Alice in Wonderland, but if you were on shrooms. So I was not. I do not do drugs, people. But it was just so, I really like the use of black lights, and I like the theming. I think it just fit perfectly. Like Alice in Wonderland, and you're like doing black light shit. Come on.
No,
and you
I got
even had glasses. You even had glasses. You walked in and you had to put on glasses.
Yeah, I think that my first year, there was one house that was using 3D. The effect just didn't look that good. I can't remember what it was, but I remember just this is a gimmick. This isn't working for me. It just they haven't gone back to it since.
Wasn't this house, because this house was great.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now, do you find that the
yes.
Okay. You're gonna pull a Corey on me. Great. I gotta put up with this shit again. I find that some of the non-IP houses on a majority are better than the IP houses. Do you?
100%. 100%.
Okay, so like, can you like name some of your favorite non-IP houses?
Other than graveyard games? Oh shit. What is it from what was before 2019? 17. I have to like look it up because I can't remember the name. Graveyard games, I will say that I was not impressed with like the Walking Dead house, the Purge houses. Like, come on, you can do better, guys. You can do better. Oh, this is sad. This is gonna break my heart. No, there was a year they did the Blum house. This is this is IP.
The Bloom house.
Is it not Blum? I thought it was.
You're probably right.
Now I'm going to doubt myself. I don't know if it was Dead Waters. Was it this year? Was it 2017 or was it 2015?
Terror from the Deep?
No. Maybe.
That was 18. That was where you're in a submarine and these alien sea creatures are attacking.
They did something like that 2 years ago. Not like that, but it like gave me like underwater vibes. But I think it was like a containment type virus situation.
Okay.
This shit trips me up because it has like on the facades, it has like you're going into like a locked, like a bank vault. Dude, this shit trips me up all the time. I'm checking 2015. If it's not, then it was definitely the 2017 house. Jack presents 25 years of Monsters of Mayhem. Jack has been a lot. Been here a lot, I just want to say. Nope, it was Body Collectors. I couldn't even remember that house. Wow. They've really only stepped up their original game in the past, like, 4 years. Because I'm looking at this list from 2015, and they only have 2 original houses. And are they original, really? Like,
wow.
That's what I'm saying. Nightingale's Blood Pit was good from 2 years ago.
Yes, I really enjoyed. That was the Roman Colosseum kind of one.
Pictures, man. I have pictures from this house. It was really well done. And my friend worked that house. Those are probably, honestly, the last 2017 and 2019 were probably my favorite original houses, mostly because they finally got their shit together and figured out how to do it.
Yeah, let's see, 2018, that was a year I couldn't do everything because I only could go once. I was on
Because you're a noob.
It was like my second or fourth one at that point, but I was financially, I couldn't go any further.
It was this house.
Yeah, there were some little Scary Tales was really good.
Scary Tales. Wow. Did I go that year? I might have actually went that year.
That was the Slaughter Cinema year.
Yep, I went that year. You bet your patootie I went that year.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat, I definitely went that year.
Yep, I did that one, and I hadn't seen that version of Trick or Treat, so I wasn't sure, like, are we looking at, like, the original Trick or Treat or, like, the new one? It was kind of like a mishmash.
I've never seen it, but I thought that little dude was adorable. I'm assuming it's a dude. Adorable.
Let's see. The Slaughter Cinema, Stranger Things. Now, the first Stranger Things house I thought was better than the second one the next year.
Yeah, they did way too much. They tried to fit way too much in the house the second time.
Right. Now, the second house was really... It had some cool moments in it, but then there were a lot of, like, fourth wall breaking moments where I went night one of that year, and then I went about a month later, and the wear and tear of that house was really starting to show on that second walkthrough, because there were characters who originally were holding, like, rifles. They were mannequins, whatever. But by the second time, I don't know if they were just losing their grip or something, but they had string hanging down, holding the arms and the weapons up so they wouldn't sag. It was really easy to notice, too. It was like, oh,
they had too many people punching them and knocking the shit off, so that's why they did that.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Now the giant Demogorgon, or what?
Demogorgon? It's a Demogorgon.
Yeah, the really big one, though. Is that what it was called?
The one in the big one?
Yeah.
The big one?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was called anything different. So
okay.
Yes.
I thought that looked really cool. I was like, okay, this is good. I like it.
That was about the only thing that I thought was very wowza in that house. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I still think, yeah, I agree with you. The first house was better.
Giggles and Gore. That was a good house back in the day.
Which one was that?
Couldn't freaking tell you, but there's a skeleton clown on it.
That narrows it down.
Dollhouse of the Damned. You know what house I think is the worst? And people can at me if they want to.
Sure.
Roanoke. The year that they did Roanoke Cannibal Colony.
I don't know that one.
What the fuck exactly? Just what was that? What was that? I don't know. I was not.
Logistically, I don't know what that was.
That's okay. You don't need to know because it was bad.
I'm better off.
Imagine American Horror Story actually did a season where it was Roanoke, and I don't think it correlated. But it was just not well done at all.
Oh, we didn't look at it. Let me see if I need to pull that image back up, because we didn't go over the scare zone speculation.
Oh, we didn't go over something else that we really need to discuss. So.
What's that? As I'm pulling this up, what is it?
Are they bringing back our dudes?
Oh, with the Graveyard Review?
No, Bill and Ted.
Oh, Bill and Ted. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at a tiny monitor.
Oh, well.
But still, at the same time, Bill and Ted or the Graveyard Review. One of those would be nice.
Yeah, that would require to get rid of the Fast and the... Not necessarily, but I would rather take Fast and Furious out and bring it back.
Well, they're definitely not doing Academy of
Villains. Yeah, I heard that.
That's done.
I heard that, so what are you guys doing? And they came out with a new Bill and Ted movie, so it only makes sense.
Oh my god, it's like perfect timing. Yes, do it.
And it's the 30th? Come on.
Yeah, right now, this speculation map is saying the Jack Stage Show.
Yeah, that's on the small one in front of the water. Like by where the crepe stand is?
That's the Lagoon Show, though, isn't it?
No. Hold on. 51. Oh. 50. No, that's different. Where's 52? Oh, they're saying that he's in Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I don't think he would really take up that much time.
It depends on like how much they
vamp.
blow it up. Yeah.
Yeah. He was always that smaller stage, but like right before like the ET walkway. Always, he was always there. So I'm gonna say he's there this year.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm hoping for Bill and Ted to come back.
You know what? That would be great. I think it's possible. I don't know how possible, but of course I did see a tweet how they were looking to hire singers or something for Horror Nights.
Are they?
You say that as if you know something.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Guess things will have to unfold.
All right. Well, let's look over the scare zones that they're speculating for this year. Let's see. The K area that's over by the front, that's the 30th anniversary zone. The L, which is over by the Mummy, that's Seek and Destroy. Yeah, I got some ideas about that one. The M, which is over by... what is that over by?
Fast and the Furious?
Yes, it's over there. They're calling that the Eddie zone. That could mean a lot of stuff right there.
What's Eddie? Who's Eddie?
I think it could be Eddie from the band where their mascot is like this skeletal figure, because they've done musical acts before in that same exact spot. That was Rob Zombie's Hillbilly Deluxe zone a few years ago.
Yes, I remember Rob Zombie.
Let's see. The N zone. Where's N? Oh, N is, I guess that's over by Simpsons. They're calling that Terra... Cruentus? Usually that's just like the chainsaw people walking around. That's all that is.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? No, that's over by Animal Actors. This number 4, yeah, that's a Simpsons area. So that's where people in chainsaws just walk around. And finally, the O area over by Jason Bourne. That's Shudder.
Shudder. I'm shuddering at the thought of it.
It could be like photography themed horror scare zone. Like
they did Chucky 2 years. Wasn't that Chucky 2 years ago?
That was Chucky a few years ago. Yep. And I think this would be a really good opportunity to make fun of the vlogging community.
Correct.
Or have an area where vloggers can like take video of themselves standing in front of stuff and scare actors. Iron Maiden. Thank you, Nate. God, I was drawing a big freaking blank on that. Yes. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah, Eddie is like the unofficial mascot or the official mascot of Iron Maiden, and he's just Google his image, Eddie of Iron Maiden. He was like, yep, that guy needs to be a Horror Nights scare zone. That would be awesome. Especially if they're playing like Iron Maiden music in the background like they did with Rob Zombie, which was probably...
That was a lot of Rob Zombie.
It was a lot of Rob Zombie, but if you're a Rob Zombie fan, you are in heaven, because that was one of my favorite zones. One of, not the.
One of. Correct.
One of.
One of.
What do you remember? What your favorite scare zone could have been?
Well, I hear many stomps out there. What? I'm trying to think. Scare zones. The old lady. What's that old lady name?
The storyteller?
Sure, that sounds about right. They had a scare zone. Was she actually? Hold on. We have to think about this. My favorite, like, cutesy one was the trick or treat one. Mostly because I could take a picture with the dude. You know, I'm an influencer. It's fine. Was she not part of a scare zone? She might have been on that stage.
I think that was more stage.
Hold on.
I didn't go that year, but I know who you're talking about. If it's the same person.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're talking about the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think she just sat up there. She would, like, read out of a book and, like, make fun of people who were bringing their kids. Which was really cool when Chucky did that. Like, the performer would stick out his hand with a puppet, and they would make fun
very impressive.
Yeah, I love that. That was great.
I can't say that there are any. Okay, scare zones. I'm gonna have to say it's the what's it called? The one from 2 years ago, the blacklight video game one.
Oh yeah, Arcade of Anarchy. Or
I was close. There was an AN in it. I got there.
That was probably one of the more beautiful, like, eye-catching ones, especially when they would put in, like, this low layer of fog, and then they would shoot laser beams across it, so it looked like there was a ceiling above you. So yeah, it was a really cool effect.
And then a few years ago, they had was it a few years ago? It had to have been a few years ago. They had princesses, like scary, like fairy tale.
Yes.
I really like that one too, but that's
like
the Disney
zombie
anime.
Snow White and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And it was in that same spot too. It was by Minions and Shrek. Whew, man.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago over in the L in front of Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious? No. What is that over there? Oh,
Mummy?
The Mummy. Yeah, over in front of the Mummy. They had Vamp 84, which was a bunch of vampires celebrating New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that was a crowd favorite for a lot of people. I just wasn't. I was too young for that to appreciate it, probably.
Aw.
But yeah, that was really popular with a lot of people.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun because they were singing, they were dancing. There was one zombie walking around with a microphone. He was rapping and making fun of people. That was a lot of. I would just people watch that one for a while.
It's called Scary Tales Scream Punk, and it was in 2015. As the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And it was very, very good. Very, very good.
There have been a few that just completely swing and a miss.
The alien one?
I don't know that one.
There was it was in front of Fast and the Furious, and it was literally like they had a crashed UFO, and it was weird aliens. Was that not 2 years ago?
Not like the Fox Studio Alien, like aliens.
Like an emoji
Just
alien.
Generic. Okay.
Generic, yeah. I don't even remember what it was called. It was a little rough.
Ugh. Sounds bad.
Yep.
There's one recently where there was botched plastic surgery, and they would have a runway, and you'd see like these people.
Oh yeah, that was a little.
I didn't really care for that one. It was it was all right. It was great makeup, obviously, but the rest of it was kind of
rough.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's okay. You can say it was rough.
It was rough.
The one that they did 2 years ago. The one where by the NBC where you can do the surveys, the ET walkway.
Okay.
I wasn't really impressed with that one. What was that? Vikings, I think.
Yeah, Undead Vikings.
I wasn't impressed with that, but maybe they just didn't try to scare me enough. maybe.
There wasn't a lot involved with that one. Basically,
it really wasn't.
Zombie Vikings walking back and forth. There was one guy who was doing like an incantation with a flayed man behind him, and another person who was barbecuing a human on the other side. Aside from that, and lots of fog.
Lazy.
There wasn't a lot to it. The one they did the year before, Twisted Pumpkin, Twisted Halloween, or something. It was like
Twisted Tater. No.
Twisted. Oh, that's something else we got to talk about. The snacks.
Oh. Twisted Tradition is what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, where they had a couple of like characters who were kids, like in trick or treats, but then they were scare actors who had pumpkins for heads. It was weird, but it worked in the weirdest way. Not really memorable, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. What's over here?
Wow. That's all I gotta say is wow. That's a lot of pumpkins.
Yeah,
on their heads. It's weird.
It was crazy. All right, so let's go back and let's talk about the treats. So obviously there's, you just said it, Twisted Tater.
Yeah, my absolute favorite will forever be the pizza fries.
Pizza fries. I think that's everybody.
They really got not creative. They really got overly confident with these s'more fries. I don't. Sweet potatoes and marshmallows only work for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You want to work a little bit of sweet in there or something. My suggestion is try with tater tots.
Yes, I would agree with that. Also, I will say, don't knock it till you try it. Try the food trucks that they have out during Halloween Horror Nights. It was like Asian inspired food, and I have a vague memory, and it was just in a truck, and you got a little plate, and we sat in the benches in front of where the tribute store is. We sat in that little circle area. Yeah. We ate our food. It was great. I like the food was really good considering what time of night it was, and the situation. We were cranky and hangry. It was good.
Which hopefully that won't happen to us on September, but yeah, you never know. Actually, you mentioned the tribute store, and I did want to bring up something. Last year, they only had the two houses, but the tribute store had a very strong Beetlejuice theme, like to the point where, as I was walking through, it's like, wow, were they planning on a Beetlejuice house? And since they didn't do it, they just stuck everything in here, because a lot of the stuff they used for decoration in there looked really good, like Horror Maze house good.
I'm pausing. Shark Attack is the only adult beverage you really need, Rob, but maybe this year will be the year that they bring back blood bags and Jello shots. I mean, the blood bags are actually terrible, so maybe don't bring those back. But
if they sell, they're going to bring them back.
Yeah, they have bar tables, so really anything you want. I just like the Shark Attack, and that's just me.
Yeah, I had a couple last year. The circus peanut, that was...
Oh!
Yeah,
they had a candy corn drink once.
Yeah,
Don't
they did.
do that. Don't do that.
No, I tried it. It's like, let's try it. This looks pretty good. Oh. I was so wrong.
Yeah, they have... Okay, so yes, they do have, like, specialty drinks. 9 times out of 10, they're not good. Don't spend your money on them. Or, like, split them with somebody,
Yeah. Share with a friend.
Going back to the tribute store.
Yes.
I think now that it's going to be a full-blown event, I'm going to say this, but now that as I'm thinking about it, I think it's going to not just be centralized to Beetlejuice. If it is, I'm all about it. But I think they need to have more focus on the icons.
I do think that it will be more focused on Jack, which it was when tributes were first opened, but then it was like, yeah, let's just start making the other half of this like all Beetlejuice stuff, which is, I got so much Beetlejuice crap that year. Yeah.
Also back there, there's a back right there. There's a poster. You can't see it. It's a poster.
Okay. I believe it.
I will say though that Jack's getting his own experience at Cabana Bay. When is it too far? with Jack. Like, how much is too much, Jack? You know, like they can beat it with a dead horse at some point. Yes, they can.
That's not a question. That's not a question.
That's the thing. They can do that. Yes, people will complain. I will say, I hope they bring back the statue. They had a statue in one of the Universal stores of Jack, like full, like tall ass statue. They should put that
in the tribute store.
Yeah, 100%.
I walked in. I was looking. I was like, "Is that a dude? Is that's a guy, isn't it?" Because it looked really well. It looked really well done.
So this HHN Icons house that they're speculating.
Yes.
They're not really saying anything about the other icons. They're really only spotlighting Jack. So what does that mean for us, really?
Honestly, I think that's a filler house until they get something else.
But the HHN pass holder shirt has all the icons on it.
Well, actually, no, I take that back because I'm looking at its location, and that's one of the three like big areas. So I don't know. It is possible that maybe because we think Wicked Growth is a possible
for sure
house. So maybe they could just take the icons, put it over in F, which is over by Men in Black, which is a smaller venue.
No, Texas Chainsaw Massacre should be over there. Where is that? Oh, it might as well be back there.
Yeah, they're giving that like the main event place.
I don't. My thing is they're gonna screw us because.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, no, it's
the B location's a smaller one.
Yeah, but it's still like by the front. They have to do at least 2 houses that are like meh next to like the bigger houses, and then move the rest toward the back. This is gonna screw us though because. Will HHN shirts be available on event nights? Yes, Rob, they will. The shirts that they're releasing now are low-key shirts that they had last year that they probably took the year off of and are trying to sell the limited quantities that they have.
Just peel the sticker off. Like, oh, look at
that. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. If they leave Beetlejuice, like if this map is correct, if they leave Beetlejuice where it is and then they put like Bride of Frankenstein at C or D, we're gonna have a real problem with what holding zone we're doing here.
You see, that's another thing is Bride of Frankenstein and Tooth Fairy and Beetlejuice are in the same places on this map as they were last year in the same locations.
That's probably what they're basing it on.
But I would have to imagine you're not going to make Bride of Frankenstein your main attraction because that's the main house, the A house.
No, isn't D and C the main houses?
I always thought A was because that's where Stranger Things was. That's where Ghostbusters.
It? Hold on, I'm picturing. Gotta.
Yeah, it's where you had to walk in front of the stage show.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You had to walk in front. You had to go left on the street. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. A, and I think Haunting of Hill House will be one of the main houses. Damn. I feel like Haunting of Hill, at this point, I think Haunting of Hill House and Beetlejuice are the two main. Because Beetlejuice is like parallel to Ghostbusters, Haunting of Hill House is parallel to Stranger Things in my head.
Now, the C house, that's where Tooth Fairy is. That is where Us was a couple years ago. And that was, let's get this house out of here. Let's get Us in there. So I feel that A and C are big attraction houses. Because they lead to like the bigger venue, the bigger warehouses, the bigger sound stages.
Damn, dude. This is a pickle because you can't. They put 2 of the top houses next to each other, and typically those will be the ones that go in the Finnegan's holding area. Then they have one where it's big, but nobody's really gonna wait in the Simpsons holding area. Let's be honest, people do, but like I typically don't. What do we do? What do we do when the scenario happens when this house that we want to go to is in a completely different area than the other house we want to go to? Riddle me that. Riddle me.
Bring lots of patience and don't bother with any rides.
Oh, I never bother with rides. It's all about the house. Okay, anyone who is coming to this September meetup, Stephherrs is... We're doing at least 9 of the 10 houses. So bring your good shoes, bring no attitude because there's only enough attitude for me. And that's how we're doing it. If you want to ride rides, get an annual pass, people.
Okay. That's the other thing is we're still waiting on Frequent Fear to be announced.
Frequent Fear and Stay and Scream, because there are people that are just going for the event. So
Stay and Scream, that's a thing. That's going to happen.
Are we sure?
Doubt. I have no doubt. I'm sure.
Well, I have no doubt that Frequent Fear is coming in the next week or so.
Okay. I hope so, because I bought 2 individual days. I'd love to trade one of them for a Frequent Fear.
Same, though. Same. It depends on... I'm hoping I can get back down in October, but that will depend on my job situation. So we'll see how that goes. But Frequent Fear is such a good option. If you either can't, so me and Jackson are going we're going the next day as well. And we're just doing it us two, and we got express, and we're just making sure whatever we don't get done on Saturday, we're making sure we get done on Sunday. Or if we really like something and we want to redo it, we're doing it that day. I ain't playing. I don't play on Halloween Horror Night days. I don't play.
Now, I know you're not for this, but I am always for getting the express pass at least once. That way you're able to do everything on one night, if you so desire.
You've never been with Stephherrs. You can do everything in one night without express. But
it depends on the crowd levels.
Well, really I always go in September. I never really have that issue.
Oh, I don't touch this park in October. That doesn't happen.
I will say, we are doing express this year on the second day we go, only because 2020 crowd plus 2021 crowd. This would be the only year that I'm like, you probably want it, because they're honoring the tickets from last year and they're still selling new tickets.
Oh, I didn't know that. They're honoring last year's.
Oh yeah, people from last year, they can redeem it for this year.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know about that.
Nice.
So when the fam group goes on that Saturday night, will actually be my second time going, because I'm going a few nights earlier.
Do you ruin anything? I will not ruin you.
I will not ruin anything. If people ask me how should we do first, I will give my honest opinion, but I will not say anything that's going on the inside.
Correct.
That is a Skipper Bob guarantee. I will, on the other hand, a few days earlier, be doing the RIP tour. I know. My wallet hurts too.
We actually looked at it for that second day we're going. I was like, oh, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. Oh, but do I really want to pay that? In my head, I will say.
Well, in your head, yes. Your wallet saying.
Well, yes. My wallet is saying you could do that, but I might hate you tomorrow. I'm going to see how I know that the times are going to go really quick, but I do kind of want to see what the crowds are like and how that situation is, because you really don't know what to expect this year other than amazing, entertainment, but you don't know what to expect in terms of crowds, in terms of capacity is back up. It is the full event, but is it really the full event? I don't know. There's a lot more not pressure, but anxiousness, and people are very I gotta buy it now.
There is a lot of that.
And usually it's we already know that Frequent Fear doesn't go out the same day. We already know Rush of Fear doesn't come out the same day. Stay and Scream never comes out the same day.
No,
but we're all freaking out. We're all freaking out about it because of 2020. We don't know what they can afford to do and what they can't.
Yeah, there's way too much FOMO going on. But I've never done it before. I've seen celebrities just get walked right into houses before. It's like, oh, I know that particular wrestler. Oh, I know that actor. And I was like, oh, okay, you're just walking. We've been in line for 120 minutes. No, sure, you go ahead. That's fine.
What, are you doing the private, or are you sharing the...
Oh, I'm sharing.
Okay.
I don't remember what the price difference was, but it was different enough to the point where I was like, I'll do the share. Thank you so much.
$3,000 for 10 people.
Oh, okay.
For the private. $300 a person if you do if you get 10 people to do it with you, plus the price of the actual admission ticket.
Huh.
Which was what, $100, give or take.
Well,
Yeah.
depending on what day you go.
Yeah, or it could be 75, so whatever the cheapest ticket is nowadays. Yeah, I thought about it. Really, really, really thought about it. I really just want to do it. I will say, if Frequent Fear is a good deal, I think they're doing it that whole time that I'm actually in town. I might upgrade and do it 3 nights in a row.
It's usually, if you go by years past, Frequent Fear is usually good for the first 3 full weeks. Maybe not a couple of weekends here or there. If not the entire month of September, not including the weekends.
Yeah, I got screwed like 2 years ago with the ticket. It was literally, it covered one of my days. It literally covered every other day that I needed, and then one day it left off, so I had to buy that one day separate. I was like, okay, you're rude, but that's fine. Take my money, Universal. I don't care.
They're going to take it anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. The only people I would rather give my money to. Sorry, Disney. I'm not mad.
I'm not. And that's probably why I'm also doing the RIP tours, because that pretty much guarantees you're going to get into every house. You're going to experience every scare zone.
Unlimited. Oh, no, that's not unlimited for you. It's one time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Private's unlimited. Just fun fact if anybody wants to do the tour.
And it does give me like some kind of other bonus, like, because you pick a
Ex-
time that you're going to go on the tour.
What time did you pick?
8 o'clock, where the sun's almost down.
What? Okay.
What?
I would have done like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
I want to walk through when it's dark at night.
You have like a pre-thing reception, my dude.
I want plenty of time for that, and I'm definitely going to have that.
Oh, okay. You let me know how 8 o'clock works.
Okay, I will.
Wait, okay, hold on. So now I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You're doing it shared. Who decides the itinerary?
I would assume the tour guide,
Okay.
and they
'Cause I
probably have
know-
it mapped out because that every house, every scare zone, and every show, which do go on schedules, those are guaranteed to experience. So I would imagine it's like, okay, we're going to do this house, we're going to do this house, we're going to get to this show by this time, this house, and then we're this show
They
at this
also
time.
probably know the peak times as well, so that they try to fit you in. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. And plus, you're not waiting in line. They just walk you right in. Like, here you go.
Yep.
Come on in.
Yeah, we're VIP. I'm supposed to be here.
You know what I'm afraid of is I'm going to get in line I'm going to find my tour group, and then at some point during the night, I lose them. And I can't.
You have a lanyard. There are people. It's fine. They have little glowy sticks. It'll be fine.
I'm
you
an
worry.
idiot. I can very easily get lost in a park I've been in like 150 times, and I grew up in.
There's no hope for you then. I'm sorry.
That you sound like my wife.
She's a smart lady. She's a smart
She
lady.
is a wise woman who needs new glasses.
Oh, free. This show thing is really going to throw me for a loop. Because I kind of, I know we need more house announcements, but I low-key just want to know what the main headliner show is.
Let's say Bill and Ted comes back.
I will cry. I will cry.
Happy
tears. Happy tears.
Now, let's say they do some kind of an amalgamation with Beetlejuice and Bill and Ted.
I will cry, sob.
Because I really think they're getting ready for something Beetlejuice related, because he's been the pre-show host at the horror makeup show for the past year.
Maybe he's just trying to get his sea legs or something. Maybe he's just dipping his toes in the water. You don't know.
Or maybe they're prepping for something big.
Oh, that would be so great. 1, 2. They could technically have a HHN icon situation. I could dig the Bretta Frankenstein coming out with her big ass hair. I'm just saying. Or they
Maybe
could just bring back the review. The Beetlejuice show that they used to have there.
They could. That would be awesome. Everybody loved that. Nobody wanted to see that go.
Oh, I know. I was too young to appreciate it, so I think I've only seen it a handful of times.
It's been a while, so I think it changed a little bit throughout the years. Not just they changed some of the jokes or some of the songs or something. Not a lot of change to it.
Yeah, they probably stopped offending everyone. I don't know. I always offend people at this point.
I hope not.
Jack, so Jack, I think, is not going to be his own big house. I do think it'll be a mix of the icons for sure.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's going to be like more of the host, and I really maybe he's going to be like a focal point of the 30th anniversary zone, which is in the front of the park. So
yeah,
that's
getting
more
a lot.
likely.
He's getting an experience at Cabana Bay. He's getting they're making sure that he's in every sector. So I think he's just going to be a focal point this year. That's fine. I like Jack. I got the other Jack shirt too. Oh, I got the Haunting of Hill House shirt that they have, but I haven't washed it yet, so it's in the laundry. And then I bought the Jack is Back shirt, but my friend has to ship it to me. So. Actually, I think he's just going to hold it until September. Maybe I should have him wash it.
Yeah, we're only like July, August.
60-something days.
Yeah, it's getting narrower. So we need some more hints coming down the line real soon.
63 is what we're at. 63 days.
To our day or
to our
when
day.
To start?
Nice. The start. No matter as long if I can't go.
That's true. I don't care if I can't go. All right, so Stephherrs, thank you very much for joining.
Love the chat. Love it.
Where can people find you if they want more of your nonsense?
I have many places of nonsense. My main place of nonsense is probably the Gram and the Twitter. I'm on the Gram. I'm Adventures with Stephherrs. Yep, that's my Gram. And then on Twitter, I'm AsianZing95. And then if you really want to read my shenanigans, I have a website, adventureswithstephherrs.com. I actually have a post where I'm updating the news for Halloween Horror Nights and the best way to experience Halloween Horror Nights. Obviously, it's my opinion, but my opinion's the only one that matters.
Ooh. I'm not arguing with that.
I know. You shouldn't. You'll lose.
No, I'm smart. Listen, guys, thank you all for joining in. We are nearing that magical number of episode 100. If you'd like to record a nice thing to say, or even better, a nasty thing to say, and plug your own stuff at the same time, say your piece, send it to cretinsguild@gmail.com. We also have a link tree to all of our socials, and other media can be found in the description, or just do a Google search on Cretins Guild. We're the only one. I hope so. Otherwise, someone else is milking off our stuff. If you think we've given you $1 worth of content, then why not be like the champ Theme Park Rob and join our Patreon page where supporters are sent stickers, and now we got coasters among some other swag. We'll also be able to have early uploads and give some extra stuff we drop in from time to time. Just really depends what we're working on at that time. You can check out Jay, his YouTube channel, Square Pegs, and my YouTube channel, Skipper Bob's Breakdown. We have merch on our tpublic.com that features the arts of the wonderful and very talented Tom Solo. Our high-cost lawyers, Boots and Beasley from Bums R Us, assure us that all products are legally confirmed to keep you warm at night. We are part of the PODFIX network, and to all of our followers, new and old, we say, welcome to the Guild.
This was a podcast of the PODFIX Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.